Hey, I'm Newton Faulkner, and you're watching Toasted.
Hey Newton, welcome to Amsterdam again.
Oh, that was great to be back. Beautiful day as well.
Yeah. Hey, lots of changes for you. First of all, of course, obvious, you cut your hair.
Yeah, I've lost quite a lot of treasure, as the milk bag have put on the. Yeah, that's all it says. It says Newton Faulkner, singer-songwriter, cut off his dreads. That's what they put on the poster, which is bizarre.
But I mean, still, I looked at the video for Get Free,
Yeah,
and it shit, yeah, man.
Yeah, that was a serious day for me,
I can imagine.
because that was what, 15 years worth of hair that was just cut off and.
Dreads is not just a fashion statement, right? I mean, there's more to it.
Oh, definitely. No, it's because I've had them since I was 14, so it's a long time. And also, I mean, I'm almost quite glad we did it in the way that we did because it kind of took the pressure off the fact that I was cutting my hair because I was also shooting a music video, so that was like a whole other realm of stuff. So yeah, it was so much. It was the most stressful shoot I think anyone has ever worked on. So like, okay, is he going to go for a take? We did nearly 6 hours of rehearsals because the cameraman had to know exactly what I was going to be doing and how fast I was going to be going. And he's running full pelt around me with a massive Steadicam thing, which weighs a ton. So you just, yeah, it was just such a stressful exercise. But I'm really proud of it as a video.
Did some cuts go wrong actually? Because I mean, you cut your hair in the beat.
Yeah.
I can imagine if you cut in the wrong beat, it's such a waste.
You just can't go back at all. So you could, yeah, there was one, I think we did one cut where we were like, actually stop, let's go back like kind of 30 seconds and don't cut anything for 30 seconds because then you'll see stuff. So it was, yeah, crazy.
Hey, but what made you do it? Because I mean, this is a big statement. It was an intense video, and it's a beautiful song. You did it a very beautiful way, I think. If I listen to the lyrics of your new album, apparently lots of stuff happened, and you made a couple of decisions, right?
Yeah, I think we changed label, which is, I think I underestimated quite what a difference that would make to me, almost kind of psychologically, because I think I underestimated how much of an impact. Because I think if you're sending stuff to a small handful of people, their feedback becomes like your main way of telling. Because obviously there's your own feelings. You're like, I think this is brilliant. This is my favorite thing I've ever done. This is the one. And then if everyone else is like, it's really weird and I don't understand what you're talking about, then you have to kind of take a step down. But there's lots of stuff that's on this record. In fact, a lot of my favorite things on this record, I think, are tracks that wouldn't have made it onto previous albums. I don't think they would have made it through. I think I would have had to fight too hard to get them on there. So
Your music developed as well. I mean, you have a beautiful duet with actually a original Dutch singer.
Oh yeah,
She's from Amsterdam.
I need to ring her. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, I need to see where she's at.
So how did that come about?
I met her. I actually met her in Brussels, years and years ago.
We're talking Tessa Rose Jackson.
Yeah, and we I met Tessa in Brussels at a festival. I can't remember what festival it was, but we kept in touch, and then she was coming to London to do some writing for her, and then she came over and we wrote that song on the first day, and I was like, I really like this. This is so much fun. Can we both use it? So we ended up both using it, which was awesome.
But you used the same track? You used the same cut, or
Yeah.
did you just switch roles? That would also be great.
The thing is, she does the first verse anyway, which I really liked in the flow of the album, just to have a track that starts and like, what is this? This is fast. This is going to be intense. What is it? And then a completely unknown voice just comes straight in. In terms of people just putting the album on, I think it's quite a pleasant shock.
I think it's a very, very diverse album.
It covers a huge amount of ground.
Beautiful song that you just played, Break. Is it a personal song? Is it about you, or is it just a love song that you wrote? Or
Well, me and my brother found ourselves kind of in the same place at the same time. I think he'd just broken up with someone. I had a breakup a long time ago, which took me a long time to process because it was complicated. So I think we just found ourselves kind of able to write about it at exactly the right time. But I love that song. It's actually the first time I ever played it. Thank you.
And it sounds like it's, of course, I'm totally wrong, but it sounds like it's like a one take. Like you sit down.
Yeah.
It's almost like, hey guys, listen to this song. I have something. You play it for the first time, and it's like spot on.
Well, it is the demo.
No shit. It is.
Yeah. No, that's what six
Fucking hell.
mics. Yeah, just sat down. The only reason I recorded it was so I didn't forget it. I didn't record it for the record.
Fantastic.
And then we kept trying to redo it, and we're like, it's not as good.
So it's demoitis.
Yeah, it's just yeah. There's something really. I mean, I genuinely, I think I cried when I got to the end. I kind of let the strings ring for as long as I could. I was like, I actually can't do this anymore. It's unbelievably intense to play and sing, especially if you've got headphones and reverb and stuff. You can completely lose yourself in it. It's probably the most accurate, like, emotional depiction of a mood I think I've ever captured. It was exactly what we were going for.
Well, that comes across because I really didn't know that this was the demo that you put on. I heard it and I was like, wow, this is such an intense version.
Oh, well, so Can I Be Enough's demo as well. That's me. That's actually me on my own in the studio. So that was one of my favorite days. I love that day because I got up and I'd been listening to Niels Frem, the piano guy. I was listening to his set and he had this track that had the same note running through the whole thing, and I was like, that's a really nice kind of neat way of doing something. So I found like a guitar thing that was kind of vaguely in a kind of similar thread, and just found like this one thing that I could interweave everything around. And then I played the guitar part and I was like, okay, cool. And then I got a little drum kit and I kind of wandered over, played a beat that wasn't very good, and then by mistake I was trying to put delay on something else, put loads of delay on the drums, and just completely fell in love with the sound. It's that kind of, it's Stuart Copeland, it's Walking on the Moon. It's that weird delay thing, but I
love it.
Absolutely loved it. So I did that, and then I got out a bass, and the bass line on it is so much fun to play because it's just rhythmical gibberish. It's not the same ever. It's kind of duh 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 duh, and it's never at the same time as the guitar. And it just built this weird little kind of machine.
You have a knack for rhythm. Of course, you're famous for playing guitar and rhythm at the same time. Mm-hmm. Listening to your music now, you play with more people. You actually, dare I say, you're more of a band now.
Yeah.
So that means probably, and this is just something that come up in my head, it's so easy for you to combine rhythm and guitar playing. Did you have to let go of thinking in rhythm and translate it into beats? Instead of playing it on your guitar?
A little bit. Well, I think
And you just mentioned Stuart Copeland. So.
Yeah, I've never not liked drums. I didn't start drumming on the guitar because I didn't want to drum. It was just, to begin with, it was just part of a kind of whole playing style. And then I think the thing that kind of led me back to having drums was listening to the radio. Because listening to the radio, there's nothing that has a beat that isn't drums. Like, it's just, the main thing that lets you know whether a song was released kind of 20 years ago or 10 years ago is the drum sounds seem to really kind of define genres and kind of musical styles, all kinds of stuff. And definitely kind of in terms of what gets on the radio, I think drum sounds became like more and more important from when I started to kind of now. So I think I figured on this one, let's go all out. Let's have like the coolest drum noises we can possibly find, and we really did. Like we dug all over the place. It's great fun.
Hey, of course you're famous for covers. You played Massive Attack, Teardrop in Small Elevator in Paradiso, which got like 7 million views now, which is ridiculous. You did a lot of busking in London, for instance. You did, of course, the Bohemian Rhapsody, which is amazing, I think.
I've just brought that back because I didn't do it for a while, and there's nothing that ends a gig like that moment. It's just it's such a strange.
No, I saw you play it, and I was like, wow, man, you get all the notes, which is amazing. And it made me think of two things. It's like, wow, it's been such a long time that there was a band with such a great performer that could actually sing incredibly, like, of course, Queen had. But again, you pull it off as well, so I'm glad that you are here.
Yeah, I think vocally I've probably done more work on my voice, well, more kind of focused work on my voice. I think the guitar stuff, I've got a solid base to work off. So I can kind of just experiment and pull things out. And also production-wise, mixing it, there's kind of like other skills I've had to develop around the playing. But vocally, I've really kind of done as much work as I possibly can to stretch it. And I think on this album, it probably goes further than on any of the others. Something like Shadowboxing is so high and so kind of, I mean, that
Strong
live.
also. Fuck.
Yeah, it's
Not just like high, but it's powerful
No,
and long. And
it's a full body experience. You kind of really have to get everything
Yeah.
going. So it's been great fun kind of pushing that harder. And I think singing is it's such a weird psychological, delicate thing. I don't think I'll ever fully understand it. It's not like guitar playing. Guitar playing, because it's your hands kind of just learn stuff and they do the same thing every time. Your voice, depending on kind of everything that's happened, there's all kinds of things. Just kind of nudge it to the left, and it's a constant kind of growing process. But I think this tour so far has been, I think, the best I've ever sung.
I think so too. Hey, how do you pick your covers actually? Because I was thinking, of course, Massive Attack and Queen are like not your average songs that somebody could cover by themselves. But could you, for instance, cover, I don't know, Raining Blood by Slayer or Black Sabbath? Could you do that?
I'm sure I will at some point. I mean, my starting point for covers is a bit strange. I always start with kind of, I mean, Bohemian Rhapsody came out of a question, which is basically because we've done Teardrop, and Teardrop was kind of what shouldn't you cover? What should you not really do? What's like a bit cheeky and like possibly like could get you in loads of trouble if you did it badly? And also it was the way that the track's built as well, because it is kind of 4 main elements that glue together the whole track. So it's the beat, the harpsichord thing, the bass line, and the vocal. And I was listening to it thinking, I think I could do all of that at the same time if I put in some time.
Ridiculous.
And then Bohemian Rhapsody, that was the answer to the question, what is physically impossible? What can you not cover? What would just be like the most unlikely thing to do? And I started working. I actually worked on it with a friend who's another incredible guitarist, a guy called Matthew Buchanan, who I've known since I was 3. We've been best friends forever. So we both kind of sat down and was like, right, maybe if it goes here, then we might have to edit that bit out, because like the ba-da-da-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da just sounded really weird. So we kind of nudged things around, and it was so much fun. And again, like the guitar thing was the guitars for that were the first bit to come. And then I was like, right, okay. Oh, yes, singing it is going to be interesting, because it does do the Mamma Mia, and you're kind of jumping all over the place, but it's so much fun. It's definitely
I don't think there's anyone around who actually can pull it off. It's so hard to sing that you're laughing, but shit, man.
I love singing challenges. I get really into it. In fact, one of my favorite, I was going to do, I think what I might do an online competition, because there's one song that I did. It's on Studio Zoo. It's called At the Seams, and it's got the chorus just has this massive like kind of almost kind of Ripperton-esque kind of massive vocal jump, and I might hold like a mini karaoke competition and get people to send me them doing it, because it is really funny.
It's a really good idea.
Someone kind of sang along with me the other day, and I was like, "What is wrong with you?" So I might have a little competition.